Hey YouTube, BD checking in. I'm out here with the Banana Hobbies Cessna 182. I'm running a China Hobby Online Black Edition resale 2200. After the flight, I'll show you the voltage and where I have it in the airplane as far as CG. And then I'll also show you my flap to elevator mixes. But we're gonna take it up for a little flight and show you how it flies. We'll taxi on out. I'm gonna use mid rates. Taking off. I'll bring it back towards us. I'm gonna try to keep it out here in front of us. Just flying around it. About 60% throttle. A little bit of wind out here today. This plane's not a heavy plane, so it's not something if you're wanting a smooth flight. You don't want to get in really high winds. And when I say high, I'm just referring to something about 8-10 mile an hour. We've got about 3 to 5 out here today, light variable. But a real easy plane. I'm using a 5-minute timer. A couple of flights I've got in today, they've been about right at the 5-minute mark. And I've came down to the 385 on the cells. This plane is a 3-cell only plane. It's just an easy flying plane. It's not a plane that you want to do hard dives out of loops and stuff like that, because the wing spars actually don't go all the way to the end of the wings. They only go about halfway. Come back around, I'm gonna make a flap deployment. It's a super easy plane to fly. After I've gotten some flights on this plane today, I really feel like this could be a good first airplane. And it's gonna take a little bit more than a bind and fly because he's come plug and play and ready to fly. So if you get the plug and play and your own transmitter, you'll have to get your own receiver. I'm running a 6-channel lemon receiver in this one, no gyro. So we're gonna put the flaps down here. That's half flaps. You can see no balloon change, or it doesn't balloon up, no pitch change. Now I don't have a heavy mix in there, that way when I get slow, you notice I wasn't flying when I put those in with a lot of speed. See the wind's pushing around a little bit. So now I'm gonna make a pass down and I'm gonna go full flaps. Flies nice and level. And when I go above 50%, you can see that it climbs just a little bit. So let's make an approach here. I'm not gonna run all the battery out, that way we can get it down here and go over a little bit of it. Landing. So we're about 50% power. Back off the power a little bit. Down about 30% power now. Wind's slowing us down, so I'm gonna add a little power back in. There we go. So now we finished our flight. Let's look at our battery voltage and we'll go over the radio and show you the rates, and I'll also show you where the battery CG'd on this airplane. So we'll flip it over. So you show a battery right here. This is where we CG'd the airplane. You can see it's just looks like right at the edge, there's a little block in there on both sides. The edge of the battery's at that block, but it's also just shy of the hole where the ESC wire runs through. So that's where you'll want to CG it at. Now go ahead and unplug the battery here and take it out, and we'll look at the voltage we got. On my timer, I had it set for 5 minutes as well, and we actually went 1 minute over. So a 6 minute useful throttle time. I think the overall flight time was 8 minutes. And our voltage on the battery, 41%, which was 382 a cell. So you could probably run 5.5, 6 minutes of useful throttle time and be around 380. In the transmitter, show you my rates I was using. I was flying on medium rates, so you could go up or down from there if you wanted to. On the ailerons,
low rate,
we were at 70, 85, and 100. On the elevator,
low rate,
70, 85, and 100. And then on rudder, I turn it down a little bit because I want better ground control. So it was on 75 as well. 55, 75, and 85. Now something I want to mention, the servos that were installed from the factory were one hole in on the ailerons and the flaps. You have to put the rudder and the elevator on yourself. I put those on the furthest hole out. So if you're going to use the rates that I have in there, that's with it on the furthest hole out. And then Expo, I wasn't running Expo, so if you're going to put in Expo on your transmitter, you're going to adjust that accordingly to how you feel. So overall, if this plane is a no or a go, it's definitely a go. The only two things I would say that I checked out and kind of ran into was, one, the wheel was actually froze up when I got it, so I just had to free it up, and as I flew it, it freed up even more. And on the clevises, we put fuel lines so that it holds the clevis together, because it doesn't actually come with those from the factory. So the only two things I would do is check your wheel, make sure it's free, all three wheels are freed up, and then put the gas line on the clevises. So definitely a go. If you guys are in the market for a good Cessna trainer plane, this is definitely the one to get. I appreciate y'all watching. Subscribe to the channel and like the video, and I'll see you on the next one.